San Diego resident Yvonne Elkin has been politically active most of her life.
I mean, even back when I was young, we had, in the 60s, we did a lot of advocating for civil rights and voting rights.
And in her retirement, she's invested a lot more time in her advocacy work.
I'll knock doors and make phone calls and stuff like that, but it's because the candidate aligns with what I want to see happen.
That's why Elkin supported Nathan Fletcher's campaign for state senate early last year. Fletcher, at the time, was on the County Board of Supervisors and was considered a rising figure in the local Democratic Party.
I was pretty impressed with him right out of the gate, when I met him then, his values and what he spoke for.
Elkin contributed $100 to Fletcher's campaign and planned to chip in more over time. But then Fletcher dropped out of the race last March. He initially said it was for treatment of PTSD and alcohol abuse. Elkin fully supported Fletcher's decision to focus on self-care. But then, a few days later, a former employee at the San Diego Metropolitan Transit System accused Fletcher of sexual assault in a lawsuit.
When that occurred, then that was a different story. Then you crossed the line, you've been, unfaithful to your family, you've broken our trust.
Fletcher has denied the allegations and claims the affair was consensual. As KPBS reported earlier this year, Fletcher has spent more than $500,000 in leftover campaign contributions to defend himself in court. The California Fair Political Practices Commission has since launched an investigation into Fletcher's use of campaign money for his legal defense. The campaign has argued that the spending is allowed. Elkin decided last year that she wanted her $100 back.
I gave you money to run for Senate. Now you're not running for Senate, so I want to choose how my money is spent.
But it's not so simple. Contributors to political campaigns can ask for their donations back, but in most cases under state law, candidates don't have to return the money. In Elkin's case, it took 4 months and repeated requests. She started with an email to Fletcher's campaign, which read,
"Given that he will no longer be running for that seat and that he has dishonored his supporters through his actions, I politely request a refund of my donation."
After more than a month, she sent another email.
"And your actions have destroyed our trust in your ability to make good decisions. Please refund my $100 at the earliest possible time."
And then another.
"I have stated my reasoning previously and do not intend to let this go. Please save us a lot of time and additional heartache by just refunding my contribution now."
In her fourth and final email, Elkin threatened to go to the media and the County Democratic Party with her grievances.
"There are other candidates running for office this cycle that need and deserve that $100, and it should be my choice as to which of them receives the donation."
That got the Fletcher camp's attention. The next day, the campaign dropped Elkin's refund check in the mail. Fletcher's campaign did not respond to a request for comment. It's unclear if Fletcher declined refund requests from other small-dollar donors, but campaign finance reports do show that Fletcher returned tens of thousands of dollars to influential people and organizations who asked for a refund. It appears they had a much easier time.
We'd actually never done a refund before, and it was, I think, my first time doing that for a candidate.
Jason Pagiao is CEO of the Asian Business Association of San Diego. The group's political action committee contributed about $5,000 to Fletcher's campaign.
Well, we contacted the campaign's treasurer, and they were very quick to get back.
About a month later, they got their refund. Pagiao says the political action committee reinvested the money. California election law gives candidates a lot of discretion when it comes to refunding campaign contributions. But when they drop out of a race, should they keep the money? John Pellicero says no, they shouldn't. He's the director of government ethics at the Markkula Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University.
And when they drop out of a race, they really have to have more of a ethical awareness that they have an obligation to go back to their donors and ask if they'd like to have their money refunded.
Pellicero says in a situation like Fletcher's, there's an even clearer obligation.
And if you keep the funds just for legal purposes, for your own personal behavior, that's inappropriate and really unethical.
The California Fair Political Practices Commission declined to comment on its investigation into Fletcher. It could take months for the commission to reach a decision. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.